On this episode of The Bender Hour.
It's like that Nikito avocado video where like he like drinks the milk
He
and
drinks
like
the cum, like the big fucking like
I don't know if that was
beer
Whatever
stein
that
of
shit
cum.
was. I mean, how else do you explain why you made that face
or
afterwards?
isn't he gay? Like shouldn't his face have been happy?
Dude, I think if Batman was a basking shark like that, nobody would be committing crime. The Joker would fucking hang up the hat. That dude's Crane. I ain't Clay.
I hate Clayface. How does he like go back to being like Bruce Wayne? He still has to keep up appearances. Like does Bruce Wayne still look like a basking shark? Master Wayne, Selena Kyle's here for you. Oh, I can't let her see me like this.
But you know what? I'm gonna jump right in with what was making me mad like a week ago. So I saw this video on YouTube. I didn't watch it because I just couldn't bring myself to press on it, and it was something along the lines of, it was called like the shark in Jaws did nothing wrong. It was like a whole video essay basically saying that like Jaws, like the shark itself, was like basically not in the wrong, and it's like all humans' fault.
How long was the video essay?
I don't know. It was probably like something like 30 minutes, like an hour. I don't really remember.
You know, is that really necessary? A fucking like dive into like an 80s movie? Like
Yeah, just to like have this horseshit opinion that makes no fucking sense.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can see what the point is, but it doesn't take 30 minutes to say like the fucking shark's nature is to eat things, like so that's why it's not the bad guy.
Yeah, because you know, if you wanted to, because the whole thing, there's like an overarching thing I want to discuss here. But basically, in the movie, you know, it's not like the shark was like, you know, threatened out of its waters and starts like killing people on like some kind of weird vengeance. Like, you know, the first target just like eats some fucking woman. And it's not like the usual shark bullshit where, you know, it bites on like a surfer, then realizes it made a mistake and swims off. You know, it just straight up fucking murders a woman.
shark movies are kind of
And-
shit anyway. Like
They are shit. There hasn't been anything like past like Jaws. You know, you like, you know, Meg and like the like
I mean,
Smeg
yeah,
and
when you say
whatever else.
past Jaws, you mean past Jaws 1, because all the
Yeah.
sequels suck ass.
Yeah, that's
you guys
it.
ever play that
And-
like Jaws game?
I didn't
No.
know that there was a Jaws.
Yeah,
Are you
so-
talking about like the Jaws for the E NES?
No. I think it was for the PlayStation, or it was either for the
Yeah,
PlayStation or
that's-
Xbox. I had both, so I don't remember which one it was for. But
I've never played a shark game in my
I'm
life.
pretty sure it was called Jaws Unleashed, and like you would just like go around and kill a bunch of shit, and there was like actual story missions that I don't think I ever played because that game was fucking garbage too.
Story mission.
Like, you like were able to like swim in like a tank, and I think at one point one of the boss characters was like a killer whale or something.
Like go down, if I want to go down like the Paragon or like Renegade options for like Jaws.
Yeah, it's like the real like Jaws RPG.
I mean, isn't the point of Jaws 2, like, at least for, like, I don't know about, maybe not Jaws 1, but isn't it supposed to kind of be that, like, the shark itself is, like, evil? Isn't
I
it,
don't
like,
know.
supposed to be that it's purposefully eating people in, like, horrible ways? I know that there's at least one Jaws movie that's called, like, Revenge of Jaws, where it's, like, its son, and it is purposefully eating people.
That's the path they went down. That's like incredibly stupid. I don't remember that being the case for the first one at all. It was just like an oversized shark that's just like eating people because it's a fucking shark.
But it also, like, eats boats, apparently.
Yeah. But the whole overarching thing I wanted to bring up is just like the fucking rise in like shark sympathies over the past 20 years. Like everybody's always like, oh, you know, sharks are actually like good, you know, like actually like shark fucking defense force that always like has to rush to every post, like, you know, like pit bulls, and they're like, you know, they actually don't mean to fucking eat us and like bite us, they're just stupid and blind. Here's a video of like a girl like petting a shark, like, oh wow, like the shark spinning, like crazy. Meanwhile, meanwhile, like 3 weeks ago, I saw a fucking video of some guy in Eastern Europe getting demolished by 3 sharks out in the water. Like people filmed them.
When the fuck are there
crazy.
sharks in Eastern Europe?
Because there's, like, sharks that swim in cold waters. Like,
Yeah. And it's
unless you're
like whale
imagining him
sharks,
being, like, landlocked in the middle of fucking Siberia. Like,
That's not Eastern Europe, that's in Asia, but like,
it's like really Eastern Europe.
yeah, like where are these like random shark attacks in like the middle of like Romania. Like,
I don't know, but
He got attacked by
yeah,
a Greenland shark.
yeah, like,
It's
It was
'cause the
all the
whole
way up in
thing-
like Archaelogy, like in the northern part of Russia.
yeah, it's because the whole thing is that every time there's like a shark attack, people are like, oh, there's only like 2 that happen a year, and when they bite you, they immediately recognize that you're a human and they swim away. Like, what the fuck happened there? Whereas like the shark apologists like rushing to like try to make heads and tails over that video.
Do you even have to apologize for the shark, really? Because I mean, like, even if like the sharks kept attacking, probably the reason was that they were fucking hungry, and like at that point, it's like it's that fucking swimmer's fault for being a dipshit and swimming in shark-infested waters.
yeah. Apparently, which are pretty bountiful in Eastern Europe. The shark-infested waters over there.
I don't know.
Like, if
I just
someone
hate,
in
like-
the Sahara got like mauled by a fucking pride of lions, would you feel bad for them, or would
Well,
you be like, "Well,
I don't
that's
think the
their own
lions are supposed to
fault?"
be in the Sahara Desert.
I meant to say the safari. Fuck.
Like the Serengeti.
Just like so geographically like fucked right
Yeah.
now.
You got like your turban on. You're like trying to like make a fucking like trek and like seeing over the fucking the dunes. It's like a whole line.
Alright, can you scouts honor that there's never been lions in the Sahara?
Yeah, within like what the past 1,000 years. I don't think so. Like, how far back are we going?
As far back as I need to like be able to say
Yeah,
I'm
prove
right.
A point. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, but like going back to just like shark attacks in general, I feel like they're no more dangerous than like an alligator or something. Like it's pretty much like the same sort of mindset. It's just like a random predatory animal, but like sharks get it the worst because it's like the ocean.
Yeah, I mean alligators. I think alligators and crocodilians in general probably kill way more people a year than sharks.
Be a lot
But-
more scared of like alligators, to be honest. They usually like swim in waters that are more murky, whereas sharks tend to swim
Yeah.
in like waters that you can actually see in.
Yeah, and like the bigger, more dangerous sharks are like deep oceans where you really shouldn't be like swimming normally to begin with. Whereas like alligators and crocodiles and shit, like their whole tactic is literally wait for things to come up to the shoreline and then jump out and attack them, which is just like terrible.
So apparently, a woman in Florida got like mauled by an alligator because she tried to like get her little stupid dog away from the fucking alligator.
At least she actually
Yeah.
tried. Ryan, do you remember that one video from a few months ago of like the 2 like Spanish women like crying as like their little like chihuahua gets
Yeah.
like mauled by a fucking crocodile, and like not
Thing-
like the dog keeps running back into the
I
water.
The thing made a beeline back to the fucking thing's mouth.
And like the 2 women are just standing there screaming, like not doing anything to try to like get their dog to come back to them.
They're just like standing there videotaping it or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they're
crying
And
and
the dog
videotaping
like
it.
jumps into the water. It comes back onto the shore. They have like a chance to grab it. They don't. The dog runs and jumps back into the water again, and the fucking croc gets it.
Stupid fucking animals.
What, the dog or the people?
Yeah. But I guess going back once again to the sharks, I just fucking hate like shark culture.
I just fucking
It's-
hate
I would argue
sharks.
it's like
I
a
wish
thing.
they all
Yeah, fucking-
died.
Yeah, I fucking hate sharks.
like you
I
just
hate- I hate,
are so against Shark Week or something. Like,
maybe Shark Week is kind of like a symptom of it, like the overall shark culture virus. Where, you got like the 2 camps. You got like the fucking like the pit mama, like the shark mamas who have to defend them every
My
single
sweet
time.
little babies wouldn't hurt a fly.
Yeah, wouldn't hurt a fly. It thinks you're a seal.
Did you ever
and then
see
you have the
the-
other camp.
Oh, go on, go on.
Then you have the other camp, which are just like the autists that are constantly saying like Megalodons exist, dude, Megalodon, and they don't shut the fuck up. And they're watching it's Shark Week because it's anything, like wherever. I forgot. It's like it's Shark Month because it's anything but week, and they're like oh Megalodon, and that's just like all it is.
You ever seen the video of like the fucking swordfish like swimming around, and a shark comes up and bites the fucking thing clean in half? And the swordfish like keeps swimming with its entire lower half gone, and it's like bleeding everywhere. It's like swimming as fast as it can, but it's like slowly dying.
I've
And
never
people
seen
be
that.
like, my shark would never hurt a fly. Like,
All these like
Yeah.
shark owners apparently now, like
Yeah.
my shark, like
It's the owner, not the shark. Depends how you teach them. It's like, because what do they call pit bulls? They call them like nursery dogs, like nanny dogs. Yeah,
it's my nanny shark.
my nanny fish.
yeah, and that's stupid too, because I'm pretty sure there are actual like nursery sharks. Like I think
Yes.
that is like the name of like a species. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt a fish. That's how you
My
teach
sweet
them.
little cookie cutter shark would
Would
yeah.
never latch onto you.
My cookie cutter shark would never disrupt the U.S. military.
I could hate all those
A
people.
latch onto you sentence is especially scary too, considering that like wasn't it, like last year was the first ever case of a cookie
In
cutter
recorded
shark
history.
latching onto a human.
And it happened like twice within like a few months time span.
It's not right.
And it's like fuck too, because like that thing can latch onto you and take a softball sized chunk of flesh out of you in like less than 10 seconds. And it's it's just like nothing you could do, because like it's such a small little thing. And I'm pretty sure that happened like where was that? It was like somewhere like in the West Coast. It was like the same guy too. It was like a guy like
no way it was the same guy twice.
At that point, it's like his fucking problem.
I refuse to believe it was the same guy twice.
I think it might have been the same guy. Just keeps swimming out, get chunks taken out of him.
The first time you'd have to be like scared of going back in the water, but the second time, there's like no way you're ever stepping foot in the ocean again.
You know, it's like when they see the washed up like bodies of dolphins that have like cookie cutter shark attacks on them, and they have like 10 holes in them. You have this fucking hero, you know, like preparing for his like triathlon or whatever the hell he's doing, and he comes back.
Surprised he's
Yeah,
like
it was a
able to
great way
make
to-
it back after like the 100 cookie cutter shark attack.
You get the 100 cookie cutter shark dash.
At this point, like they're like piranhas.
It's like all those fucking like those ancient fish documentaries, like ancient animal documentaries where they show like some ancient fish in the ocean and there's like hundreds of them all swimming at once for some reason.
What's that like really ugly like prehistoric fish?
Are you talking about
Kinda-
the one like the super big ones from like the Jurassic?
Maybe it's got kind of like I mean it's kind of a stupid way to describe it, but it has like a rounded head. But like I
I
guess
mean,
like
there's
most
fish alive that are right now that have rounded heads that are fucking.
I don't know,
gross.
what are like what's like the most like famous fucking ancient fish? Like what, like the coelacanth?
Siccactinus is usually the most
uh
popular one.
hold
I don't
on,
know how to spell Siccactinus though.
Because like the coelacanth is the one that has like the 6 fins, and it can like walk on its
The
fins.
coelacanth is like the one that like went extinct, or people thought it went extinct,
Oh
but
no,
it came back.
I was actually thinking of the Dunkleosteus.
Oh, that's not Jurassic. That's like way earlier, I think.
That's what that was. The fucking Dunkleosteus. Why do like older animals have to look so dumb?
Yeah, you know, I had to get a start somewhere. Turns out like being good looking was like a genetic trait that needed to be
Being
fucking
good
like,
looking
weaned
was
out.
not a priority when like you're trying to survive.
Literally the most dangerous time like ever.
Trying to survive
Like, they were
Earth
fucking-
before like plant life was on the actual land. Like it was all
Yeah,
just-
they were like ugly. They were ugly maxing. They did not give a fuck.
apparently not.
I mean, fish still fucking ugly, Max. I don't think there are not too many fish that look aesthetically pleasing out there in the ocean right now.
And then just to make it worse, like for like most fish, like when you bring them too high up, they like depressurize and look even uglier. Like not supposed to be looked at.
But
Like,
dude, my
above water.
blobfish is like so wholesome. It's like the Blobby comic, bro.
Dude, it's like the blobfish. Yeah. Just like fucking put it into like that. Like remember that video of like the industrial like pig cleaner? Yeah, like that's what I'm like throwing the blobfish into. It gets like whipped around at 100 miles an hour.
Put into the machine that destroys everything, like that giant fucking cow that was like way too
Oh
big
my
for
god.
it.
Dude, that video still gets me. It's like so fucked up, but like I can't help it.
Cow that's like twice the size of the fucking thing, and they just
Yeah,
come over with like a forklift and drop it in.
Yeah, because I remember when I first saw the video, I was assuming that like the distance the like video camera was at, that those were just 2 regular cows, and then all of a sudden this fucking behemoth gets dropped in. It's like bigger than the machine. And it's just, the second it grabs onto it, it just explodes. I'm like, oh fuck.
Like, not right.
Yeah, like, why are they even putting it through that
Yeah, like,
machine
why
anyway?
are they, like, getting beef from it?
Like, okay,
They're
like,
just
if it's
destroying it.
yeah, because let's like think about that for a second. Like, if it's like infected, you'd probably be burning it. Why are they putting it through the crusher? That's a whole fucking cow.
It's like such a waste.
And you like put 3 of them at least. Like, all you're gonna get is just like a bunch of like meat, like patties that are just
but it's
yeah,
gonna
like
be
filled with like organs and like
bone.
bones.
Like you can't
Yeah.
use that. There's bones. There's like nails and teeth and horns and shit. There's
It's
fur. There's fucking fur in the meat.
Like, someone needs to explain to us what the fuck that could possibly have been used for. Like, some kind of fucking like cow killing scientist needs to like explain that.
Like,
Whoever operates the machine that destroys everything.
yeah, like the people who operate the machine are like the think tank from the Big Empty. Like
Let's see what happens. We put the giant cow in it.
wow, that's for science.
Edited by Dan Animal Hater himself.
Yeah.
His name is on this fucking order.
Blow up cows. Can you imagine landing that job?
Like resident
yeah,
cow
operating
crusher.
the forklift to put cows in the fucking machine that destroys
like-
everything.
Yeah, you're part of the scheme that like shreds those cows in that machine.
You refer to it
Or
as
imagine
like a
being
Do you think that's a
scheme.
designated job, or do you think he was just like a farmhand? Like,
Well, once again, if it's a farmhand, what's the fucking purpose of that thing? If it's a good cow, you fucking you know do what you gotta do.
so you're
You butcher
telling
it.
me that like every farm just has like a designated guy who like drops the cows?
That's, how am I supposed to know? I don't know how the inner workings of like industrial fucking cow farming. Like who am I to judge? If there's just like a room somewhere in the back where they figure, like how in like assembly lines they have like a little thing like 1 out of every 10 toys will go through like a special process to like test it, something like that. Maybe like 1 of every 10 cows was just
Get
like
selected
erroneously
to put
killed.
in the crusher.
Yeah, like 1 out of 10, they put the stupid like the knockout like brain crushing gun to its forehead, like pull the trigger, and you just wheel it over to this machine, and they just you have some asshole jotting down notes on a fucking clipboard as it happens.
You know, like it's
Getting-
like real like science, like but they really
Won the
need to just
lottery? I did.
they really need to like crush this animal.
Of course they don't. They're just like, we have this machine.
We might as well
Let's
test
fucking-
it. Like,
Yeah, we got this dead cow, but
but it was that. Wait, was the cow dead?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
3 dead cows.
Okay. I thought this whole time like they put like a live cow in the fucking machine.
How would you get a
Yeah.
live cow into a fucking forklift?
I don't know. It's a cow. Like what's
That's
it
gonna
gonna
be thrashing.
I don't know. Like,
Like-
I would imagine the cows are kind of slow. Like as soon as you like stick the 2 forks under, it just kind of like gets lifted up and does nothing like a frog.
You think the
Like-
cow would just like let the forks get under it?
I mean, they let people get under to milk it, so
Yeah, I don't know if all 3 of these are like dairy cows, dude.
I don't know if
I have-
like a cow would feel the same way about like a large, like loud machine like coming up to it.
And like I just thought like there's only one possibility, like maybe like the cows died and they were like starting to decompose, but like they look pristine, like they looked like fresh
But
kills.
why would you put like a decomposing cow to like this crusher that I assume is for like making some sort of food, right? Like, is that what the
Well,
purpose
no,
of this
it's-
crusher?
I don't
those
think
machines-
those crushers are
no.
food grade. To
The
be
crushers are
honest.
literally just to reduce any single thing back to like its raw components, just like completely crush anything.
Oh,
It
Like,
is
that's
the
it.
machine that destroys everything.
Yeah, that's all. So like, what possible use are you gonna have out of 3 dead cows? Like now you just have this disgusting huge ball of like mush that's unusable, and now you gotta like throw that away.
I mean, I guess you just like, I don't know, give it to the birds or something. Like,
I mean, maybe you could like use it as fertilizer, I guess. I don't know. I still think it's just like a scheme. Like it's just people having fun.
think like, yeah, like it would be like way more. It would make more sense to just dump the fucking body in the woods somewhere and like let the fucking carrion like pick at it.
It's like the next like Mr. Beast video where like he's just like crushing random farm
I
animals.
crushed 100 bovines for charity. He's like standing
Africa.
right in front of it. Yeah,
He's
I'm
like in
crushing
like an
100.
African village with like a pile
He's
of
crushing
like
their
red
only
mush
cow.
behind.
He's crushing their livestock. 100 water buffalo.
They were all dairy, and he crushed all of them. Like none of them were gonna be turned into meat.
Yeah, and no, like this, like all of like the village like elders, they're like standing like really upset, like arms folded.
crying.
Like they got handed a ton of like US dollars, so, like they can't really complain. But like
Yeah, they got handed a bunch of US dollars, but they're like in the heart of Africa.
Yeah,
like they
as
get
soon as, like,
no
the
trade.
Film, as soon as the film crew leaves, like an African warlord just comes in and takes all the money, so now they're moneyless and cowless.
I can already picture the video. He's like, what's up, everybody? And he's just like covered in like a huge like apron, like a big like visored helmet, because he's like in the splash zone. That's what they call it. It's the Mr. Beast splash zone. And the fuck they drop in like, wow, that's a little baby cow. We need something bigger and better. And they just get like this fucking like Belgian blue like 1 ton bovine.
Is there a Belgian blue in Africa?
They got like the biggest one out of the herd and just drop it in. The thing explodes, and Mr. Beast is like, "Whoa!" As he's covered in blood, he's like picking pieces of bone shrapnel out of like his arms while he screams. He's got like the Far Cry like fucking animations where he's like trying to like pull it out of his like wrist.
What is it, like shrapnel?
Yeah, the cow just like exploded. All the bones went over everywhere.
Now, guys, I decided to talk about something serious. There are starving people in Africa. And
Like
this
these idiots.
video is part of the fundraiser for the Feeding Africa Foundation. Like, donate your money to help feed these people.
He's like pointing at them. There's like 2 kids that like you can see their ribs, and he's like, "These kids are so hungry." And frankly, when it comes to
It's like his lunch break.
It's got like caviar and like lobster.
eating it right there on like a Mr. Beast sponsored table with like fine china.
You get a whole crew like lay out a dinner set for him, like candles and everything.
It's like, please donate so that maybe this village can eat like me if they're lucky.
Eat him? It sounded like you said, eat me if they're lucky.
Like the fucking Indonesian like pygmy cannibals come out of the woods.
Like the second one of like one of like the African tribal chiefs, he goes over and he like touches Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast recoils and starts screaming.
Mr. Beast throws a fucking a haymaker and knocks him out.
He causes like a fucking like UN disaster,
Don't
humanitarian
you ever fucking
crisis.
touch me like that again.
It's like Hotel Rwanda, like he's just like in this hotel, like the like population just starts fighting each other.
I
He's
am better
trapped in
than
a
you.
hotel.
I am better.
Like an ethnic genocide's happening between like the Tutsis and fucking like whatever else.
Yeah, the
And
pops.
he's just like in the middle. Yeah, and he's like funding both sides.
And then like that's his follow-on like video, like
Yeah, I gave 1,000 AKs to 2 competing militias.
saw who could like come out on top.
Whoever comes out on top, I will lord over them. And the video gets like 150 million views. Like there's like actual African kids in the comment section saying like, "I love you, Mr. Beast. Please donate like a TV to me." Like he puts his address in like the comments.
I have so much influence in both groups that no matter who wins, I come out on top.
Really just like changing the world.
I overtook an entire nation in Africa. Like that's the title of the video.
And the picture of it's like a picture of him sitting on the Game of Thrones chair, and like that chair is being supported by like 100 dead bodies, like actual photos taken from the conflict,
Like for
all
And
photoshopped in.
he's wearing like Idi Amin's like uniform.
Yeah, and he's got like a European crown on his head.
he's got like Leopold II's like Belgian crown on his head.
He's in the Congo. He's like reenacting the fucking Belgian Congo.
The Beast Congo.
What's up,
Beast's
everybody? We're doing an
Congo.
amazing challenge today. Whoever doesn't bring me enough diamonds loses their hands.
Oh my god. Mr. Beast like blood diamonds. That's the new challenge.
Like, how many like blood diamonds can he get before the UN like sanctions
stops him? Before the let's see how many blood diamonds I can receive for the blue helmets coming and blow me away.
He just funds like all these African militias to like band together to be his force against the UN. Like the follow-on video to that is like, look, see how many days I can hold out against the UN.
It's like, I found the local village strongman and hopped him up on cocaine.
I've been mixing gunpowder into their cocaine reserves.
Like their reserves, like they really need a reserve.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have cocaine reserves for like African militias. You ever like read about the fucking Liberian Civil War?
Not really.
I
don't think I've ever read a single
It's
thing
literally
about it.
fueled
of that
on drugs.
war is like insane.
Like, it reminds me, I saw this video recently. I don't remember if I talked about it with either of you. It was some fucking like British guy. He comes in, he wants to do like a documentary, like an interview with like I think like
I'm here in Africa.
it's fucking like, you know.
I think I know
it's
which
like,
video.
might as well be-
Are you talking about the one where like, he like they're all like super suspicious of him, and they look like they're about to kill him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like
honestly, they could probably go for a lot of them. It's like a British guy goes in, he's trying to talk to like, a pirate group in Somalia. And the first guy he comes into contact to, he has like a balaclava on that's like half on his face, half torn. And he's swinging around a machete wildly because they're literally all hopped up on cocaine. He's like, what you want? What do you want? He's like, they're flailing AKs around. Like, I just want to talk. Okay, you follow me. He's like still swinging his machete at things. Like, come on, you talk. Come here, come on. And this guy's just like fucking scared. Like, he's like, I shouldn't have done this. That's just like what conflicts are like over there.
Matt, I think
all hopped up on drugs and alcohol.
Matt, I think you were thinking of the video of fucking like of the one dude visiting that tribe in like Papua New Guinea that hadn't seen a white man in like over 100 years.
No. I know what video you're talking about. It's not that one. Like the Belgian or like French guy who's like talking to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that one. But that is like another video I think we should talk about here. Like
why?
Because it's like kind of why not, you know?
Wait, which one? The Papua New Guinea one?
Yeah, the Papua New Guinea one. Like, because we've all like seen it on our own accord somehow, right? So, like, you know, how did you find that video? Because I don't think we've ever shared it to each other, but we've all watched it on our own time.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably just because like every now and then I'll like actually watch documentaries and shit, and at some point it's probably just recommended to me. That'd be my guess.
I think that's what happened. I think it just showed up in my recommended feed, and I was like, fuck it, I have nothing else to watch right now. And then I watched it for like a half hour.
Got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
it's like the natives were a little less suspicious after he fell off the log, plunging 200 feet to his death.
they thought he was a ghost.
Like he hands them like a hot pocket, and they just start eating it.
Just,
and just like knocking them. Yeah, they're like knocking their heads, but they're like punching them. It tastes so good. They're just like punching the shit out of their own heads.
Like which hot pocket is like the French guy giving them?
He handed them like the ham and cheese.
It's like the 4 cheese
like
pizza one.
The village chief like eats it, and he just dies from a heart attack. Or it's like too hot. Like he bites into it, he forgot to let it cool down because like he doesn't know how a hot pocket works, and he burns his mouth.
And then
he
like,
immediately suspects foul play.
Yeah.
He like starts snapping his fingers, and the whole tribe just like grabs every spear and arrow they have and lights this guy up. And then they take the rest of the hot pot because they like heat him up in their microwave.
Like they don't learn a single thing from it, and like they burn themselves again.
Yeah.
It's crazy how they weren't able to, you know, work a spoon, but they were able to figure out a microwave.
Well, I mean, that didn't actually happen.
I know, but like in your scenario, like,
I was gonna say like, they had like the microwave like in their village. Imagine they like, you know, they get friendly with them. There's like a part like 4 or whatever. He shows back up like a month later, and he like really like fucking he's like real sly about it. He hands him like a lean pocket.
And they just
And
like kill him immediately.
The village chief like bites into it, and his face just completely sours as he looks up at the
Throws
guy
it
in
at the
disgust.
ground,
It's like
like
that-
steps on it.
It's like that Nikito Avocado video where like he like drinks the milk
He
and
drinks
like
the cum, like the big fucking like
I don't know if that was
beer
Whatever
stein
that
of
shit
cum.
was. I mean, how else do you explain why you made that face
Oh,
afterwards?
isn't he gay? Like, shouldn't his face have been happy?
It's like really funny to think about. It's like if you're gay, you're just like you just love drinking. Shouldn't have been happy. Shoves like a fried prey with a fucking like big gulp of semen, like really light up everyone's day. Oh, fuck. What was I gonna fucking say?
Years.
After trying the lean pocket, the tribals were most displeased. One drew an archaic Glock 17 from his waistband.
He's got like the Brazilian guns where they're just like
Like handcrafted 1911. Made in like a fucking shack. It's like they supposedly have never encountered European civilization. But they could speak flawless English. And after a little bit of rain, their body paint washed off to reveal Caucasian skin.
they were just that dirty. They like look like they were Indian.
Yeah, they're
All
just
just
like,
like paid actors.
yeah, it was completely fake. There actually are no like uncontacted tribes. It's all been a sham. Human history is a fucking lie.
The other thing too is that like that like title of that video was kind of a sham because like they were a contacted tribe. They just hadn't seen like a white person in a long time. And even like the dude that he talks to from the tribe is like, oh yeah, like my grandfather told me stories of like white men in the forest, but like we all thought he was crazy because we've never seen that.
So much for like respecting your elders.
And then they had the fucking like interpreter with them the whole time.
Yeah, like whatever the fuck, like how that works.
Because they weren't like completely uncontacted. They just hadn't seen like a white person since like the fucking 1800s when like an Australian expedition went there.
You know what they should do? You know how they have those video cameras that are like up in like eagle nests that are like that's a live stream? They should have like
just do
snuck one
that
in
fucking
there.
Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, like right in the tribe. Like do it like drop like those little cameras all over like fucking like the Sentinel Island people's like camp. And have it like Total Drama Island where you just like watch them.
It's like the same announcer guy.
All right. Fucking send people in. I bet people that'd be like interesting. I'd be actually
I wanna
have like
see
some
what they're doing.
scientific.
Isn't like
Okay,
the
wait.
current estimate?
I fucking
there's
know.
only,
You go
like,
ahead. You go
30
ahead.
people on fucking Sentinel Island too. Like I feel like that can't be right. Like, we gotta send something in there to like see what's.
I
going
have an idea.
on.
I have an idea. You remember that fucking like Nat Geo Wild like Animal Planet bit where they'd send in like robotic animals to like sneak into
Like,
the
to
fucking
put a
like,
human doll in fucking Sentinel Island. They attack anyone that's not from that island. Like they're gonna tear that doll apart.
Okay, but this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna like completely like we're gonna really put everything behind it. Like $1 billion subsidized into fucking Boston Dynamics to devise a bipedal robot that looks as human as possible, like Petman like 3.0. We're gonna paint it like orange body color, like what they paint themselves with, and it's gonna walk into camp with like a camera in its right eye, like the fucking Terminator. And it's gonna make the same like
And it
type
even
of shit
has
like
like
when
the
they put like
Terminator like text in the camera. It's like scanning
it
people's
also-
faces.
and it also has like Arnold Schwarzenegger's accent.
It's got his face too. It
Like,
shows up
it's
in a black leather jacket and sunglasses.
It's just Arnold as the Terminator. Just killing all of them. Great. Like he comes in and it's like the Terminator 2 one where he comes in on like the fucking motorcycle with like the mare's leg and he's just doing burnouts or they can't blow them away. And, like it's like at the beginning of the movie, like they try to like hit him over the back with like the fucking pool cue, but it's like a spear. He just like grabs it and gives him the dirty look and throws him. But I was imagining like
yeah, and
I
then the
remember
fucking like 8 foot tall like biker guy comes out from like the chief's tent.
Yeah, the fucking Terminator killer shows up. Who is this guy? I was gonna say is I kind of imagine, like, assuming it wasn't like Arnold and it is like the robot, I'd kind of picture it would just, even though these are like humans, it would still play out the same way as like the gorilla robot one. Like it goes in and like all the tribals fucking like walk up to it, they're like looking at it, and they just like, it's in time, the Sentinelese people accepted the dummy robot as their own.
After just like, blew them all away with the shotgun.
I think the exact opposite would happen. I feel like they have been nothing but hostile to every single attempt by humans to land there. And, like, as far as we know, there's only one tribe on the island, so they're gonna recognize that this one person isn't from their group, and they're gonna fucking attack it.
Knit. Like, it's gonna come in, we're gonna cover it in, like, the smells of their people. And, you know, they're gonna, like, sniff around, they're gonna believe it, and they like, let it in. And then eventually, like, but what happens next is truly unbelievable. A male tries to assume a mating ritual and attempts to copulate with the clearly male doll.
Of course. What if, like, we need to get, like, a scan of one of the Sentinelese island people and make the doll, like, a carbon copy of him.
Like a scan. Like, okay, what do we do? Like, we blow dart, like, a fucking tranquilizer and it's in the guy's neck, bring him back, and we send him to fucking Silicon Valley to get a 3D scan of his whole body. We, like, put him back.
And then release the robot. Try to get, like, the robot to convince everyone else that, like, he's the fake.
Fallout 4 synth.
It's like a Fallout 4 Sim situation. Why even send, like, the real guy back? Why not, like, keep him here and, like, put the robot in his place?
Why do all of this for, like, 30 people?
It's because it's hysterical.
Like, can't they go, like, bother somebody else?
Yeah, but this is, like, the funniest group to bother just because they're so, like, infamous and, like, aggressive.
So they've killed enough people that, like, they deserve it.
They killed, like, 2 people?
In, like, the past, like, 5 years, yeah.
But, like, all those people are, like, going over there. Where, like, they really shouldn't be going.
I think the last group of people that went there were, like, a bunch of, like, Christian preachers that, like, were completely convinced that they could go and, like, convert the Sentinelese island people to Christianity.
Yeah.
And as soon as they landed on the shores, which they had to fucking, like, run a blockade to do, I'm pretty sure.
Blockade.
They got, like, the Avatar, the last
Indian Navy, like, back to back.
Yeah. Like, as soon as they got on the shores, they got fucking, like, shot with arrows and fucking killed.
Crazy. Who could have imagined that would happen?
The Sentinelese Island people, you see, they played at war. A little pillage here, a little there. I taught them total war.
Gonna send, like, Edward Swallow over to, like, to tame them and be, like, the 86th tribe of the Legion.
I taught them total war. He just, like, unloads everything, like, from the Indian military onto, like, the island. Drop, like, a whole nuclear bomb on it.
You know, what does the Indian military even, like, have?
Nukes.
Nukes. Oh, like, I guess, like at least, like, something of a navy.
They have the Arjun tank, which is, like, a complete piece of shit compared to everything else in the world.
Is that
it's also like that.
No, not yet.
It's also the heaviest battle tank in the world.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. It's like 70 tons.
That can't be real.
You can look it up, but, like, the latest version is like 70 tons.
That
it's
thing
fucking
has
ridiculous.
Like less armor than like a fucking T-80.
Yeah, and it's like funnier too because basically the entire theater where they even want to use that tank is like mountainous. Yeah, so there's fucking idiots.
Who uses a tank in the mountains? Like,
plenty of people.
Like,
most tanks can, like, actually work in mountains now. And I mean, plenty of nations have, like, light tanks specifically for mountainous terrain, but the Arjun is an MBT.
I mean, don't you remember, like, the battle of, like, the Northern Air Temple where they have all the grapple hooks and, like, shoot and climb up the wall?
Yeah, I forgot that's, like, our basis for real technology.
How come
I think
the US
the
Army doesn't do that yet? How come we haven't adopted, like, a Abrams grapple hook modification yet?
You know what's, like, really funny to watch? The U.S. dropping like vehicles out of a C-130 and the parachute fails to deploy, so it's like you
that
see...
fucking video. I was like, there goes another one. Fucking like $1 million worth of like army jeeps like exploding on the contact.
Oh, because someone didn't like pack the fucking parachutes properly.
They like tie them on right.
There's
like,
no way that guy
landing.
didn't get like a dishonorable for that one.
Probably killed him.
Well, like, so the way I would understand how it would go is that they would, he would just like either be demoted or like never get promoted again and just have to like leave after not being promoted for a certain amount of time.
Yeah. The truth is, you just lost an expensive piece of army equipment.
You got like Arch Dornan yelling at you.
It's like now he's got to like work to, for 512 years to pay off those 3 Humvees.
Humvees are so shitty.
Yeah, I mean they're getting replaced anyway, so
yeah, I mean their replacement's not good either. Honestly, it's like way too.
It's just like a bigger vehicle.
It's bigger, it's super top heavy. It's like overly complex for no reason. Like even the startup procedure for one of those vehicles is like a real pain in the ass.
Yeah. Is it still like a crank in like the back, like a fucking old like World War II tank?
Yeah, sure.
I think he was asking you.
Like, I'm not gonna like.
That wasn't like a hypothetical. That was like a question. Like
it's like too dumb of a question for you to give like any thought to.
Yeah, like the cranks where they go like.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like the car.
Backslide.
It's like the car in Red Dead Redemption 1 where like like Agent Fordham's got to fucking like spin the fucking thing while you and Agent Ross have to like hold off the Indians attacking you.
Well, they like kick out the bottom panels, like running like the Flintstones, like keep it moving. Oh man, I really hate the modern world, but yabba dabba do.
Yabba dabba do.
Whatever you do, don't turn back.
Did he just die?
He's just like, before even like, he peeks out the fucking barn doors. He clearly sees like the 12 dudes. He's like, why would I go out here? And he's like, leaves out the back like the other two. Like there was zero reason why he couldn't have just called in like a scrawny nag and like left with them.
Yeah, like, it's like horse goes down. He like whistles, a scrawny nag magically appears to save him.
Why didn't he just like down like 10 tonics?
Yeah, just like dead eye all of them.
He should have gotten like the top of the barn and just dead eyed every one of them.
He should have gone to like the window up on the second floor and like shot them all from there.
You should maybe like grab Uncle's body and use it as like a fucking shield.
Should have brought Uncle back from the dead as like a zombie and had him like attack all the.
Yeah,
US
they already did that. They already did that. Uncle's like the first zombie that John like sees.
You should be able to resuscitate him with like a defib. Like sucking the blood out of his wounds, like
be able to like pour a tonic into his mouth, like give him like a horse reviver.
A horse reviver. It's like way too much. Like, ODs on like fucking horse medicine. Fucking hate John Marston.
Why would you hate me, Ryan?
I don't know. Tahiti. So, I remember the other thing I wanted to talk about. I might have talked about this with at least one of you. I think I did with you, Matt. So I guess it's just use Peyton. So have you seen any of the commercials for like this new fucking soda called Starry?
No. You did talk to me about that. It's like a replacement for Sierra Mist or something.
I think so.
Like
I think I know what
that's
you're
what I
talking
didn't
about.
know. Like all of a sudden I just see these ads like coming out of nowhere about like Starry, like this new soda, and it has like all this professional like advertisements. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like there's no way just like a new soda just appears out of nowhere. And I like finally found out it was the replacement for Sierra Mist. They've like rebranded. Because I guess they finally realized that just like nobody goes out of their way to actually just get Sierra Mist. It's just like a Sprite stand-in at restaurants.
Yeah, I never understood why like restaurants wouldn't get the Sprite contract. They're losing money at that point.
It's weird too, because most restaurants have Coke, when Coke isn't Sprite like owned by Coke.
I think so.
I think so. But just how many places have you like seen where it's like, okay, I mean I've had a bunch where it's like, can I get a Sprite? Oh, Sierra Mist fine. And And back in the day, it was like, oh, we have 7-Up, but that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, people like gave up on 7-Up long ago.
It's like Starry. It's called Starry, and I looked it up. That's their attempt to appeal to the latest fucking Gen Zers, who are apparently bigger fans of like I guess like small time like company sodas. They're not willing to buy into like the corporation sodas.
They're really trying to. Like, I'm on the website right now. This is ass. This is fucking. It hurts to look at. It's so obvious that they're trying to do that too. They're really trying to hide like the PepsiCo on it to make sure like you don't know that this is fucking Pepsi company that owns this.
Yeah. It's like so stupid. It's like Starry? Like what the fuck does that mean? Like that doesn't sound like something I want to drink. Like starry eyed, like I'm crying because it's fucking.
Because it's so
like such
ass.
It's so bad.
How would you want to bet that it just like tastes like Sierra Mist too?
Oh, I bet they didn't change the fucking formula at all. It's just a rebrand. And in which case, like, but the thing is that since the rebrand, I've actually seen Starries like in stock in places. So they're actually like attempting to put this shit onto shelves. Cause like I don't recall the last time I've ever seen a Sierra Mist like actually in like a little vending machine or like in a store somewhere. They just didn't exist. They straight up did not stock regular versions of those because no one fucking buys a Sierra Mist. So either get a Sprite or like a Mountain Dew if you want something like along that like citrus line.
What about 7-Up?
Well, once again, like 7-Up has gone the way of the dodo.
7-Up in so fucking long.
Yeah, 7-Up is like gone. I mean, I never had a problem with 7-Up. It just lost market share, I guess, and fucking get rid of it. Should have rebranded it. If they rebranded it as 8-Up, that would be really like stupid. That's what I would do.
It's like the upgrade.
Yeah, the upgrade 8-Up. Like throw up.
Well, like that, like statement, like throw up. That already killed your idea there.
Yeah, just name the soda Throw Up, and make it like Bean Boozled. It just throw up in a can.
Who's throwing up like enough to do this?
Okay, so there's like a throw up slave in the bowels of like PepsiCo or like wherever the fuck, and it's just this disgusting like fat guy, and they just like keep prodding his tonsils to make him puke constantly.
It's like, no, please.
he's like a little like tag. He's the puke piggy, and he does all of it. You know, so would you drink a can of Throw Up for $10,000?
Is it like actual throw up, or is it like a soda just
It's
called Throw Up? Or is it
well,
like is it carbonated vomit?
It's carbonated vomit. It comes from the puke piggy.
The puke piggy?
Yeah, that's the name of the guy that's like throwing all of it up.
It's like the guy that they have like strapped down in a warehouse somewhere.
Yeah, and it's like completely pitch black. There's like it's purposely left to leak, so there's like drops of water like in the dungeon, like doop. There's like a skeleton chain in the wall. They really gave like the whole 9 yards. Like you get $10,000 if you drink this can of Throw Up trademark.
You gotta drink the whole thing.
The whole thing. It is carbonated.
I don't know, that might make it worse.
Pitch black. Were you talking about the
No, I was talking about the dungeon.
Okay.
not the
Like a
Dude,
problem.
I don't think I would not drink anything that's pitch black. 10,000 big ones. 1 can of vomit trademark.
Oh,
What
man.
are the nutrition facts?
Yeah, like, what did this guy eat before throwing up?
Oh man,
Is it,
shouldn't
like,
let me
chunky?
decide that now. Okay, in order to be carbonized, like for the carbonization process, it's at least like a little thin. You know, it's not. It's like creamy.
The last thing I
So
want is
gross.
vomit being described as creamy.
What are the ingredients?
Would you rather be?
What's
Would you
on the
rather be
ingredient
chunky?
list?
The first one is water. Second is Throw Up. Third is high fructose corn syrup.
It's
Fourth
not even
is
like bile. It just says Throw Up on it.
yeah. The fourth is like xanthan gum for like preserving taste, and the fifth is like red 55.
I mean, they put high fructose corn syrup in it, so it's gotta be like a little bit sweet.
It's like a little palatable.
Have you ever like been to a place where the machine just doesn't have enough of like the like I guess like the
like the syrup?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be the bad luck like no syrup guy for like 5 years.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Like any restaurant, like there was like it got so bad, right? It seemed like 1 out of 3 restaurants when I got my soda, like it was like just not syruped. I'd like send it back.
Yeah.
That has not happened in a long time.
That's like fucking disgusting when it has like no syrup.
That is disgusting. It's fucking game ender. You know, you almost tried to get out of the throw up question.
Damn, I was really hoping we like get around that conversation.
I mean, it's just 10,000. Do I have to bump it up to 50?
So you have to drink the whole thing.
I don't know if
Yes.
I'd be able to drink the whole thing. That
I feel like the
you know,
second it hits your tongue, you would like instinctively spit it out.
yeah, like you'd
Well-
also just throw up.
Why would it be just when it touches your? You can like pinch your nose, you know.
That
But
like
there's
doesn't
something like
work.
intrinsic about like the taste of stomach bile that like that your body does not want in your mouth.
Well, you know, it's got like the xanthan gum.
Yeah,
Preserves-
okay,
so preserves
cool.
its taste of fucking bile. Like it like doesn't help.
Well, think about it like this: like the chemical that's like in
Alright,
throw up
wait.
is also used in like Hershey chocolate.
Are you allowed to mix anything with it?
Yeah, you can get 1 shot glass of apple flavored seltzer that's warm.
And it's flat.
It's flat and warm, and there's like a dead gnat at the surface of it.
Great. Speaking of dead things at the surface, though, did you ever find that that mosquito that you allegedly drank?
I am kind of leaning towards that I drank it.
Can't believe you drank a fucking mosquito because like you drank your day-old water. Like,
Well, let me tell the story real quick. So I think I was talking with you on Skype, and you know I have this big fucking steel mug of water, and what happened was there was like a mosquito in my room, and I instinctively swatted it, gave it a nice fucking backhand, and I'm like, where'd it go? And I thought to myself, oh no, and I look in the water, and it's there dead at the surface. I'm like, fuck. But it was like really early in the morning, so I don't feel like going out like dumping this. I was like doing it in the morning, and then at some point later, I don't even remember. Like, I need to like add a little bit of context. I don't remember ever drinking it. Next time I looked inside the mug, the mosquito was not there, and it was dead. Like it wasn't like, you know, like squirming around. It didn't. There was no chance this thing could have like flown away. So I started like once I saw there was no mosquito in there, I started panicking. I started trying to think to myself, did I ever take a sip of this? Like, there's no way. I never drank this. But like the proof is there. There's no mosquito in there. I can only assume that I drank it at some point in like some kind of.
fuck was that?
Snoring.
What? Who the fuck's snoring?
What the fuck was that?
That was me snoring.
Was the story not like lively enough for you? Are you the mosquito? So I think I drank it. Fucking snooze it or lose it, buddy. For you,
But true, I was
lowering
trying
the.
to snore that whole time. I don't know if you heard me. Like,
No, I
making
only heard it
noise
like
in
at
the
the end.
back.
Yeah, like I guess you like raised your voice enough to be heard.
So you're really is just, you know, your own boys.
I didn't
You
do
know?
nothing. I was engaging in the conversation.
Payne just doesn't want it. You know, he hears a story about drinking mosquitoes, and he's just like fucking out like a light.
We don't have cameras, so I can't like roll my eyes in the back of my head when he starts talking. So I have to do good, you know, audio.
What are you being
Alright.
fucking possessed? Like how you rolling your eyes in the back of your head?
You're not even like rolling your eyes normally. Just like they fucking like,
You
go
know,
to the
my
back of your
eyelids
head.
are completely open. All you see are the whites.
So you're gonna be cursed with like transparent eyelids for like 10 years.
The way you just like see to like the back of like my eye hole.
That way, you just like can't sleep.
Oh, you said transparent eyelids. I thought you said eyeballs.
Yeah. Transparent eyeballs. That's like such a useless power. It's like other people can see through your eyes. It's like, ew. Worthless. That's also like a worthless power, like Sandman.
He made it his own.
That, like,
he made it his own.
The fact that water can just end him, which is like, covers like 70% of the planet, is like so stupid.
I mean, it doesn't
Like,
kill
it should
him.
not. Yeah, but it makes him completely ineffective. It pretty much like neuterizes, like it neuters his whole like power.
Yeah, but like, what are you gonna send like the
He's got a garden hose, put it on fucking shower, blast him with it, and then just like sweep him into a little bin.
That's a lot of sand.
I mean, it's only as much sand as like he has part of him. If he's like the gigantic sand golem, like at the end where he's like a cyclone, then I don't know. You're gonna have to fly in some helicopters.
Yeah, when he was a gigantic sand golem, they should have sent like a fire department plane to just like dump like gallons of water on top of him.
Yeah. You could have done that. You could have gotten like a mix of like industrial vacuum cleaners and like water, like hoses and shit.
But, you know, it wasn't
like, not
only,
a big threat.
It wasn't only water; it was also fire. You could like glass him.
You could glass him. Yeah, it's just like he's really like less of a threat than he's like made out.
But at the
to be.
same time, he is threatening because all he needs is a single like piece of sand to like continue existing, and sand is
That's
everywhere.
true. I mean, well, capturing
And
him
its
is the hard
cores are
part.
rough, so-
I don't like sand.
Capturing him is the hard part. Just like stopping him is the easy part. Eventually, he'd have to say like, "All right, they just stop me every time. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done trying to wreak havoc as sand." Now, when you send him like Mudman, that's where you're gonna start getting some fucked up
So
shit.
just like Clayface.
Yeah, but it's gonna be Mudman. I think Mudman could beat Clayface.
Well, isn't Clayface like a big pussy or something? Like he's just like an actor.
He's like an actor, but it's like weird because it's like not enough that he can just like, form into different shapes of clay, but he's like bullshit. He's like a chameleon. He can like change the color and texture of himself, which doesn't make any fucking sense. So he's just like a cheater. And I say like Batman would just be way better off just like eating him or something.
Eating Clayface.
Batman should just
Yeah.
like put him in a fucking kiln, like make a pot out of
Somebody
him.
killed. I think once like all of the fucking villains of Gotham like get the story, like you hear the story passing around that fucking Batman just ate Clayface, I think they would wisen the fuck up.
How do you eat? Like they should just, that one video of like that fucking like that dude like at the beach like eating sand. Like, just
Yeah.
send him into Gotham to like hunt down Clayface.
It's to eat them. Fucking
He's like the
teach him.
new Robin.
Yeah, it's like once again, just like literally get Clayface into any room that has like heat, just like turn up the heat,
Put him
start
in a big
hardening him.
microwave.
Yeah, fucking microwave him on high.
Just gotta get like Patrick Swayze to like mold
Dude,
him.
if you
like, in
microwaved
Ghost.
Clayface, he would fucking explode.
That would also like teach him a lesson.
You'd be vibrating like all of, like the particles of water in his body. They would all be like turning into gas, and he would just like be popping all over.
What we'll do is like we'll revive Kevin Conroy to like have him like do the voice lines where he's like,
Why even
it's time for
revive?
you
Why
to
don't you use like an AI voice? Like go through the effort.
It's a little bit more respectful. Like bring him back just for this, then like we kill him again. He's like, "It's time for you to die, Clayface. In my stomach." Clayface like starts like screaming. He's like running for his life. But Batman's just like faster. He's like power walking towards him
What is he,
faster
like
than
Jason
Clayface can
Voorhees?
sprint.
Like, he just like always catch up to you.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like 3 times the size of Batman. How's he gonna like eat him in one sitting?
That's what makes it so horrifying.
Yeah, Batman like invented like the infinite stomach and had it like Alfred perform surgery for the sole purpose of being able to eat Clayface.
Like, Alfred puts him under and goes through a risky surgery to give him like 4 cow stomachs so he can eat Clayface. That man like wakes up mid-surgery. He's like, "Gotham needs me." It's like, "Sir, the stitches aren't done."
You
Justice
woke
never
up
sleeps.
before the anesthetic wore off.
Yeah, Big Alfred just straight up didn't give him anesthetics.
He's like wailing this whole time, like. Ah!
His hands and feet are nailed onto like the fucking like table. Like keep him from squirming.
He's like crucified.
Alfred just crucifies him. I don't fucking teach him. It's like I was supposed to eat Clayface, Alfred. Damn it! Why have you done this?
Alfred, thank you for nailing my hands to the board. Now let's get this operation started. Not yet, Master Wayne. I have to nail in your feet too. Like, wait, what?
Why is that where he's like concerned?
Yeah, like he's already had his hands nailed. It's like such like there was no need for any of that. No fucking need. He's like wanted to be in pain. Batman wants to suffer. And then like, you know, fucking Dick Grayson walks in and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" Batman just reflexively throws a batarang and like goes right in his fucking face. Don't interrupt me. Clayface. I have a hunger that justice won't solve. I'm gonna eat your whole fucking body, Clayface.
Oh God!
What's what's Clayface's like real name again?
I don't know.
Is it like it's like
Jeff?
it's like Clayson Face or something?
Clayson Face.
Like that's how like those characters are fucking named. Like, I honestly would not doubt if his real name is Clayson Face. I gotta like look this up. Oh, Ron Perlman.
Little Donnie.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, Clayface real name. Basil Carlo.
Are you kidding me?
Stupid. Like the name of like a fucking plant. Come on, Carlo. Get into my stomach. Get into my belly.
I'm higher on the food chain. Why is it the fucking... Why is it the fucking like...
Fucking Spider-Man.
Spider-Man
I just like reflexively do it. It's not even like the Batman theme. Just imagine he's like sitting up there like a fucking gargoyle, like up at like the top of a building. And then all of a sudden like the Clayface signal shows up. Gotcha. He dives down with his mouth open.
It's like a basking shark. He just like gets him all in one
Yeah.
swoop.
The surgery also made him as long as one. So Batman just like 50 feet.
Filter feeds Clayface. He
He's
has
a fucking
baleen in his
monster.
mouth.
It's like Animorphers, dude, at this point. Like,
Dude, I think if Batman was a basking shark like that, nobody be committing crime. The Joker would fucking hang up the hat.
Anyone be like a criminal in Gotham if you knew
Dude,
that like
yeah.
there's like a fucking shark man just like waiting for the opportunity to eat you.
And, you know, is there already like a shark character?
Yeah.
Like
It's King
like-
Shark. His name is King
Yeah.
Shark. Like,
yeah, King Shark
But he's
doesn't
a
have the candle
villain.
because like the difference is this isn't like an anthropomorphic shark. It's like Batman has undergone horrible like Frankenstein surgery to just make him the length of a basking shark. And also give him like a giant mouth and 4 stomachs.
does he have like?
Just-
Does he have baleen too to like filter feed?
Yeah, it's like really stupid because like basking sharks don't have baleen, but I guess he does.
Well, for eating Clayface, I feel like he needs the baleen to like filter out like the soot and everything.
The soot, what is he burning him?
I like to cook my food before I eat it.
wouldn't that make Clayface like even harder to eat?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't be able to like filter feed really because like it's not a liquid at that point.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between like solid clay and like fucking krill. I honestly don't think the baleen would do anything.
That would be funny.
And the dumbest part too is like baleen like needs like pressurized water from like a fucking whale's lungs to like work in tandem with like their body. So it's really gonna do nothing.
How do you explain like fucking cranes then? They have baleen.
I'm pretty sure they also have like a person operating them.
Fuck you.
Yeah, like did you really think that wasn't gonna be said?
Also, I'm pretty sure cranes. Those are like the birds, right? I don't think they have baleen.
No, it's Ichabod,
That's like a
like
lie.
the scarecrow.
They can fly now.
It's like the other crane. That dude's crane. I ate Clay.
I ate Clayface.
It's like fat news crane. What does that mean?
Bat news. I got some bat news for you, Crane.
He's got like a huge lump in his stomach. Bad news, Crane. Your time is up. I ate Clayface, and you are next.
He's like taking his like first steps out of Arkham after like being released.
Yeah, did he give a shit? Clayface just like he like just takes out his fucking like his like scare of like toxin, and he's like, like what is he gonna do? Like he's gonna like put it in his own neck, and he's just like, like I don't know. I think it's
He puts his scare
thing
tox in
planned.
his own neck, and nothing changes around him. He's still got like 50-foot long Batman in front of him.
Now, if one of those landed a Batman, what would he start seeing?
Like a big fishing line.
A beef propeller.
It's so stupid. Oh my god.
He sees like a big fucking like barge propeller. Like just because he's looks he's just because he's like the length of a basking shark. Now he's suddenly just like be afraid of like what one would be. It's like really stupid because like there's nothing fucking Scarecrow can even do with that information. Like what's he gonna do? Get like a fucking boat propeller?
You know, and how
I don't
does he
think
like go back to
Scarecrow like
being?
knows of what people hallucinate though.
How does he like go back to being like Bruce Wayne? He still has to keep up appearances. Like, does Bruce Wayne still look like a basking shark? Master Wayne, Selena Kyle's here for you. Oh, I can't let her see me like this.
You fucking relax. Send her in, Alfred. He's like already ready to eat her.
His first action, like, for is aggressive.
He's like standing at the bottom of the staircase of the Batcave with his mouth like open in the doorway.
Like, he's waiting to pull the lever so that the stairs turn into a slide so she flies right through his mouth.
Oh, fuck. Like, hard to breathe. Oh my god. Gotta like wipe my face off. I can't let her see me like this. It's funny because it's like the one time Batman didn't even remotely plan ahead. And it's like such an obvious problem. Because he had to like do all this irrational bullshit.
So
It's not even like he
like unbelievably unnecessary.
It's not even like he ended crime, he just ate Clayface.
Like, yeah, like, so what's his next, like, total body overhaul modification list for, like, fighting anybody else?
I don't know. He still like calls himself Batman, even though he's just like a fucking horrible monstrosity.
Literally
Like,
like
how's
an
he handle-
abomination.
Like, how's he handle like meetings at like the Justice League?
Like he's gonna walk in, no one's gonna recognize him.
You know, like
He's like
is
not
anyone,
gonna be able to fit in the room.
who's gonna be the one to say anything? I feel like it'd be like Martian Manhunter. Like he'd just be like, "So are we gonna like?"
You gonna talk about the elephant in the room?
Like,
Or the basking
I know
shark,
you're all
maybe?
thinking it.
It's just like, you have something to say.
So I guess I'll be the only one to say something. Batman, what were you thinking, turning yourself into a basking shark?
He just gives him like the bat glare. Like nothing to say for himself.
So
His single tears coming down his cheek.
you know, what does like Damian Wayne think of this? Like, is this before or after he's born? That he like.
This is before Batman's like giving birth to like his brood.
Why's Batman giving birth? Where's like
Since he's now like half shark, he can actually reproduce asexually, and he releases like a fucking mermaid's purse.
Waits for like Talia al Ghul to like come and fertilize the eggs for him.
I put a lot of thought into this, Alfred.
Yeah, as he like bites down to the back of her neck and tries to like have his way with his two shark dicks.
Bites down on her neck and starts to like shrivel away into nothing. Until he's
He's
just
a fucking anglerfish. He gently kisses Alfred. He's like, "I'm so sorry, Alfred." Then he chomps down onto him and inserts his gonads into his body and shrivels away.
That shit like reminds me of that fucking like, you know that like SpongeBob thing where like Patrick like actually eats SpongeBob. Like what
Yeah.
like
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like what Ryan just said, like immediately brought that to mind.
Like,
Honestly,
Batman's
I was gonna say I don't feel like it would be Martian Manhunter. I feel like it would have to be Flash. That would like he's like the only one who's like enough of like an asshole to like actually say something about it.
I know, but like at this point, I feel like he would be taken aback. Like even though he's like processing everything at like a really fast pace, like I feel like he'd just be like, "What the fuck is this?"
what's the Justice Lord's version of this Batman?
It's a killer whale.
It's a killer whale.
He has to be some sort of like fucking aquatic creature.
Yeah, all this horse shit. He's like more like marine mammal than fucking anything, but he still has to be Batman.
The world needs a symbol. So does the ocean. Can he like talk to fish like Aquaman?
No.
Can Aquaman talk to
literally-
him like a fish?
No, he can hardly talk to him like a human being. It's like nothing about him is genetically anything of a basking shark. He just superficially is the length of one. That's it.
I thought he could open his mouth like one too.
Well, he can, but it's not like he has like a basking shark mouth. He can just open it really wide. Like he's closer to a cow. He has fucking a cow stomach in him. But he just has to be like a basking shark.
Does he like walk around with like his body horizontal or like vertical?
I have no idea how he moves. I can only assume he like moves like an inchworm.
He swithers around. His legs have become vestigial. Like he swithers around on the ground.
Like, you know that one scene where like the fucking Justice Lord Batman has like Batman and the Flash locked up, and the Flash is like, it's like flatline and smack the shit out of Batman. It's like kind of imagining like the Flash would just like do to this Batman. Just like slap the shit out of him.
Yeah, like the Joker and like the Justice Lord's timeline is a fucking Japanese like whale fisherman.
Actually, I know what happened. So it's that same scene where they're both chained up to the fucking thing, and Flash is like thinking about what to do. He's like, "So, do you have a plan?" "No." "Don't you mean not yet?" "No." We're like, "I'm not going to have a plan." And like before the Flash can even do anything, like Batman's fucking heart flatline.
He pops a cyanide capsule in his mouth.
Yeah, like you see him like kind of crook his jaw and
Like foam starts pouring out.
The Justice Lord Batman like rushes down, opens it up, is like, "Bruce!" He's dead. It's so over.
Like this particular podcast has gone so like all over the place. I have no idea what your thumbnail could possibly be.
I have a feeling it's gonna be Batman related. But
I have no idea how I could accomplish that.
At first, I thought it was gonna be Mr. Beast in like the Belgian King's like outfit, but like now I'm like not so sure what it should be.
That was easily the hardest I've laughed like all year. Maybe like even the last like year and a half. That's fucking ridiculous.
I can't let her see me like this.
There's just so much wrong. It's like 10 layers of stupidity, all bound by like just pure irrational behavior from what's supposed to be like the most rational figure like in DC.
Oh man.
Do I have anything else to add, or you want to like call it here?
I think we should call it here.
Alright. So